Right.
Plenty of people have money in this world and they're always looking for their money to make money.
Right.
And if you have a sure bet of a purchase order from a brick and mortar retailer in your hand, there's a lot of ways to work that. So we would help them hopefully figure that out, that good problem to have, right?
Yeah. Tell me this. What if your sourcing agent lived in your browser? Meet Axio. This is Alibaba's AI-powered sourcing engine that understands what you need. It matches you with pre-vetted suppliers. It analyzes trends. It even helps with compliance. If you want to test for a special certification or custom specs, Axio handles that. With the new Axio agent, it automates requests for quotes and follow-ups as well. Even us, the sourcing gals, we have used it to cut sourcing time from weeks to minutes. And with our code, the sourcing gals, your first month is just $1. Then $19.99 per month after that. If you're launching or scaling a product business, this tool changes the game. Try Axio with our code today. Do you have a brilliant product idea but don't know where to start to get it made? Or are you looking to level up your product but afraid to take it overseas?
If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Erin. And we are
the Sourcing Gals,
your trusted guides to everything you need to know about sourcing, manufacturing, and scaling your product overseas. Whether you are just starting out or you've been making your own product for a while, we are here to help women source products overseas without the overwhelm.
In each episode, we'll share insider tips, actionable strategies, and inspiring stories to help you source more effectively, save time, and boost your profits. Duh! We know how hard it can be to juggle the ins and outs of product development, but don't worry, we've got your back.
So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into how you can grow your business,
make more money,
and turn your products into profit. Welcome to
the Sourcing Gals. Now let's get started. High five.
High five.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of
The Sourcing Gals.
So today we are talking. Oh, you give me eyes.
I
like this because you're wearing your fun earrings.
I'm wearing fun earrings, and I can hear them jangling. So I hope they don't jangle in the microphone.
I know we're kind of like in our zoot suit looks today. We're like professional on top. Well, you're cute on bottom. I'm just
these are like pajama pants. These are like satin pajama pants.
That's amazing. Well, we're looking the part today. I feel like we look professional.
We usually do, though.
I mean, sometimes not me so much, but I'm feeling the vibes today because we are talking about to go big or to go home.
I was thinking about this as we were preparing for this episode, and I was thinking about how in so many cases, we're like, start small, start small. And then we're like, no, just go big.
Yes.
We're not trying to give everyone whiplash.
Yeah. We're not trying to change our minds, but I will say that we have been recently introduced and starting to consult on some product-based owners or with product-based owners that have some very brilliant patent pending or patent issued ideas. And we've just been having a lot of conversations internally between Erin and I about this idea of, again, starting small, starting smart versus some of these product-based entrepreneurs that like have something legitimately game-changing to the landscape that they're creating in. And we're just like chomping at the bit to push them way beyond
to go bigger,
an e-commerce brand.
And I will say we talked about it earlier this week because it was a legit conversation between you and I too, which is what are the qualifications?
Yes.
What is it about some of these products or some of these women or some of these businesses that made us say, wow, they should be going big?
Yeah. I mean, again, the one universal, which again, I think is so awesome. And also like I say universal, but also I think it's the universe, like talking to you and me, to be honest, is that all three are women, which is just really cool because, that's us. But beyond that, they all have these innovative ideas that are patentable. and have already gone down that route, to be honest. Like they are, again, patent pending or patent issued products. So they knew they had something, and they thankfully had the foresight to be like, I need to lock this in.
And the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office also said you have something.
Important. Long before they had a product to launch. It's like they locked and loaded the idea, which great, like brilliant right there. And then also they each bring with them different unique gifts. You know, like some of them are good in marketing, and some are actually really good in their product development, and some are really good at innovation. And so it's interesting that they're all bringing their unique gifts. But then we're seeing opportunities where we have unique gifts to be like, man, if we took what you're doing and we could lock in step with you, like you could go big, and they will, and they should, at least in our minds, because these ideas are too brilliant to just stay incubated on an e-commerce platform.
And I think that what is not being said, but what makes a lot of sense is that just because somebody has a patent or has a good idea doesn't necessarily mean that you need to, like, you know, not just shoot for the moon, like shoot for the sun and all the other galaxies from the get-go. But what some brands have that is unique is a singular idea that has nothing else like it, that needs to be exposed to the world on like such a big level. And that would it would never happen if you just like went along on e-commerce or went along on social media, especially because that would give all of the other people in the world time, runway, and opportunity to produce something similar. Yeah. Now it's patented.
Yes.
So they can't produce the exact same thing legally.
Yes.
But really, like, what we're saying is you need to blast this out to every human being as soon as humanly possible, because this is your idea.
Yes.
You need to be the one with your name in lights.
And own the market on it.
Right.
You be the first to target. It's going to be a lot harder for someone else to come in and knock you out of target.
Right. So that's a great way to put it, is like, it's not about we just think that your product could sell a bunch. It's really like you need to be first to market.
Yes. First to market in, again, products that are going to change the landscape of what's currently out there. So this whole concept of, you know, is everybody in every business meant for big box retail? Definitely not. Like, definitely not. My own brand, to be honest, like my price point doesn't work in a Target. Yes, there might be some higher end retail stores where it does make sense, and it's things I'm thinking of. And there might be some other distribution channels that I'm looking into, but not every product is made for the TJ Maxx's of the world or the Targets of the world. But if you have one that does, and it can cut through the noise of everything else on that shelf because it's so innovative, like, girl, go fast.
These are like end cap things.
Yes.
These are things when you're walking to the store, like an entire end cap.
And you're saying, why didn't I think of that?
Yes.
Right? Like those products. So, you know, we have founders coming to us that are, again, self-funded, figuring it out. And so for them, the play is e-commerce, like, because that's what their budgets can afford. Right. And that's where they want to test and learn market viability. But with almost every one of these product-based founders, also, we've talked to them and realized like they've already done their testing. Like that's how they got to their patent status, is because they've been testing and they've been tinkering, and they realize, okay, this is it. So now I'm really excited to start some conversations with them, more robust conversations, to say, okay, how else can we approach this? Like, what if we actually, scary, didn't do e-commerce? Like, what if we pop up a splash page that talks about your brand, but you never actually fulfill a unit yourself?
You just go B2B.
You're going to go B2B. You're going to blast it. And we're going to find multiple distribution channels where you can do this without having to build the audience yourself.
You hit on something that's amazing. And this is also part of the conversation we had earlier this week, which is the difference between the folks who we see that just need to like go big versus the people who need to start small and like build. The difference is in brand recognition and in brand building. If you have a product that stands alone, it does not matter what your name is. It does not matter.
Yes.
It does not matter that you built an audience. None of that matters, because your product is so necessary and needed, who cares, that you have an Instagram account, whatever.
Yeah.
But then there are other brands, more maybe lifestyle brands,
Yes.
which your brand, building the tribe, building the brand loyalty, that matters.
And legitimacy of the product, right?
Legitimacy
Saying,
of the product.
You have to do a little bit more convincing to people of why your product is different. Like, again, these product-based entrepreneurs that we're talking about, you see it and you're like, yep, I'm in. I'm going to buy it. Thank you. Right? Like, there's no, that barrier of entry, of convincing, of buy-in. It's just not there because, again, it's so in a great way, that there doesn't need to be that demonstrative explanation of all about it and why it works. It's like, no, you look at it and you're like, yeah, got it. Let's go. I
Understand.
Buy it, So I do
understand. Where can I get one?
Yeah. So again, this is not that everybody is meant for this, but it was just so interesting. That's why we wanted to have an episode on this, because we've just had
that these 3 women
back to back to back that are all struggling with different, not even struggling, but at different phases.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say some are pre-launch, some are really close, and then one's post-launch, right? So they're all these different phases, but we see them and we're like, man,
you've got something.
You have something that is valuable, that can grow at a much different scale than most. Really, every single one of them is not thinking as big as what we're pushing them to think, and for a lot of reasons, right? Most people don't even understand. We come from that background, right? So for us, oh yeah, that's where it belongs, right? But if you don't grow up in that, how in the world do you get in Target? How in the world do you get in Nordstrom's? How in the world, right? It becomes this big, overwhelming idea.
One of them, I was even like, this is Costco. This should be in Costco.
100%.
Whereas think about if your brand's a lifestyle brand and you have to have 10 of your pieces together to really speak the language of your brand, then it's not a one product Costco brand. And that's what we're thinking of here. It's these really hero products.
Yep, totally. So again, pros and cons to all of it, right? Now it's going to take very different funding for these startups to get there, right? They may have to take on investors. They may have to get a factor or get, again, purchase order funding from an outside firm. They may have to take, there's going to be some other big conversations that are going to have to happen if they do, in fact, buy into the runway that we see that is ahead of them, the potential runway.
Right. If you get a PO from Costco and they want a million pieces and your product costs you $5 to make, you're not coming to the table bootstrapping a $5 million purchase order.
Not.
Right. So it's that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
That's the hurdle.
Yes. So it's real. And I also don't want to say that we even have all the answers as to how we're going to fund a potential $5 million purchase order from Costco. I mean, it's a lot different than when you have that order in your hand and you're going to talk to somebody. Trust me, there is power in that. And I'm the kind of person, we're the kind of people that it's we'll figure it out. Plenty of people have money in this world and they're always looking for their money to make money.
Right.
And if you have a sure bet of a purchase order from a brick and mortar retailer in your hand, there's a lot of ways to work that. So we would help them hopefully figure that out, that good problem to have. Right. Yeah. But I think the interesting thing, and something that we talk about, you and I, Erin, a lot, is this whole 10x is easier than 2x. I know I mentioned this on the last podcast before, but this idea that bigger doesn't necessarily mean harder.
No.
If anything, it should be the opposite.
It should be.
So to make that in practical terms, one purchase order from one retailer could be 10 times the size of your entire year's e-commerce volume, right?
And you're not packing every order and you're not doing every shipping label. And it's a lot less work. Granted, the work is getting into the retailer,
100%, but
actually fulfilling that order and getting that PO is less work than the e-com.
And again, I'm not saying that this is an easy feat necessarily, or that this is the right approach for most businesses. Again, it's just been so ironic that we've had 3 come through the door recently that were just kind of light bulb, oh shit, this could go a whole different way for them. And even if they bring on an investor, and even if they have to give up 15, 20% of their business, the scale to which they can go and the speed to which they can go with this product, I mean, talk about a slice of a watermelon versus, like it's just, I think we'll math that out for them too. But I think the math's going to make sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That,
it will.
This scale could be a life-changing, situation for all these women.
Right. So one of the main cons is actually having to come to the table with the amount of money you need to place that PO as a new business, but also just the reason we wouldn't probably recommend this route for everyone is because if your product is going out to, 100,000, 1 million homes, and it's not 100% vetted, then you have a really big problem.
Yeah.
You lose, brand trust. So we only recommend this for people who really have a product that has been validated in a small scale already.
Yeah. So whether that's a small pilot order, whether that's, even, I'm not saying that they might not still launch on e-commerce as like a test market, but it wouldn't necessarily be my first choice for them as a growth vehicle. Right. It's like if you're continuing to tinker with the product, if you're continuing to refine, but again, majority of the women that we're talking to, they're pretty well locked and loaded.
Yeah.
They've been testing for a while and tinkering for a while. And now it's like, okay, they've been testing it themselves with friends, family. So, it's the product itself and the supply chain, not everybody, but working through having a really solid supply chain. Then it's like, okay, get ready to hit that go button.
And I have also found that when the product is innovative enough and when you are first to market, then brands will be much more willing to coach you through that process.
Yeah.
If you're a newer business and you are, I'm going to use Costco as an example again.
Yeah.
If you get an order from Costco and that buyer, if you're like, look, we have a great product, but fairly new, they'll walk you through what that you need to do the next step. They want it in their store. They want to be first to market. So I think that sometimes people get scared before they even, like maybe even self-sabotage a little bit before you even get to that point. Cause they're like, well, how would I deal with that?
Yeah.
How would I deal with printing UPC labels?
Yeah.
What would I do about packaging?
Yeah.
And the truth is you would do each step one at a time in front of the other. And the buyers likely, if you're a kind and nice person and they have a product that they really want, they'll help you.
Yeah. Agree. So again, we are talking about this, and I know we talk about starting smart and being really efficient with your money and making sure your money's working for you and all these, and all of that is to be true. All of that is true, 100%. Right. But I also think for those product-based entrepreneurs out there that maybe are in a little bit of a different segment, right? They're not building a lifestyle brand. They have a hero product, and that hero product is so innovative. Like, you might want to look at a different approach of going to market. You might want to put some fuel on that and catapult yourself a little bit further ahead. I think it's
absolutely,
we see on Instagram, the grind and, day by day. And that is real. Like, I'm in it myself right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how you have to do it.
Correct.
So.
And it's good learning for me. I have a product that I've been waiting to get a patent on.
Yes.
One day I'll be able to talk about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
But seeing these women has also made me be like, you're right. Like, why would I sell any of this on e-com?
Yeah.
That is silly, actually.
Yep.
Just going to jump right to like the big guns because they need it.
And your product, you could white label it. Meaning other people could put their name as the quote unquote brand if you want it, because it doesn't matter.
The brand doesn't matter.
The brand doesn't matter.
It's the function of the product.
Matters.
Right. And so I think that's the big divide is like, does the function of the product and the newness and innovation of what you're providing trump the brand? If yes, then like you're probably in this world.
Yeah. And to think one day that I could easily see all three of these women getting acquired by their adjacent products. I'm not going to call them competitors because it's not there's They're different functions, but I could easily see each. I know in my head who would be
The one to purchase
the
them.
one to purchase them, because they're like, man, this would be a great add-on to what we provide already.
Right.
So thinking about that as well as
Oh, that's such a great way to think about it.
you know, as your, and same thing with your product. Like there are companies that would be like, this would be another great item to put in our repertoire of XYZ
Mhm.
that again does not compete. It is fully additive. And in the meantime, you've gone out, you've launched it, you've built it in your own silo, in your own way, in your own retail chain, given it validity that these bigger companies would be like, oh shit, yeah, we gotta let's pair up now.
And you know what? I was just thinking of when we spoke with our lawyer, yes. And she talked about product being an asset in terms of like the spot it holds in the market.
Huh.
And I was like, that is something I had never heard before. And something that is so smart for each one of these women is like, your idea is so unique and is so amazing that like the space and size of that idea and what it takes up is an asset in itself. And that's what a company would be buying.
Yeah.
It's potential. Honestly, they're buying its potential.
It's the upside for sure. Like the future of, and then if you can actually go to them at a place where you're already built something really freaking successful, then it's like gravy train.
Right.
You know?
See, when I'm coming at this, you can tell that I'm a science background and I'm not an economics background because I'm thinking of it in terms of like physical science, like potential. And you're like, you used like a real business term.
No, I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a real business term, but I think it's really exciting. I get very excited to see these women bringing these ideas to the forefront and knowing that, man, there is still so much space in this world that we live in for innovation.
Yeah.
Like just when I think like how, you know, there is no more, it's like, yep, there's another thing, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys come across it every day. You walk in a grocery store or a retail store and you're like, yeah, when I think of that, right? And to know that it's still happening. So like, don't stop dreaming. Don't stop thinking about those things. When you run into a problem and you're like, damn, I wish I had this, like, pull up ChatGPT, make sure it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't, like you might have the next patented idea that you need to come and talk to us about.
Just take the mini course.
Let's get you going. Let's get you ready.
You know what I also love about this idea, this thought process that we're on is that we get a decent amount of people who come to us and are worried that they don't have a larger assortment. We get people who come and say, oh, but this is my one idea, but don't I need to round it out? And they're talking from an e-commerce perspective.
100%.
They're talking like, if I were to have a website,
yes,
I can't put one thing on a website. That's weird.
I need to increase my cart. I need to increase my basket. Yes.
But then you're just spending money on products that you aren't your main thing. Correct. You're not keeping your main thing. Skip e-commerce.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. It's perfect. Like, and if your product doesn't stand alone, then like maybe rethink it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's so true. It's like, again, and it goes back to, again, from our mini course, like, are you building a brand? Are you building a hero product? There's a difference.
Oh yeah. There's
a big difference.
How you proceed forward from that point is going to be a completely different path.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You don't have to like make both paths converge. They won't. If you try to force it, then you're going to fail.
And to be fair, okay, all three of these women, do I see them building a brand out of their idea? Yes. Inevitably, with how great their item is, brand will follow. But the point is they don't need to start with brand.
No.
They're starting with a product. And that product, some of them have actually already spawned off. We've seen like other adjacent products from this one hero item, right? So yes, they will build a brand for themselves, just like anybody that goes in with one idea. And next thing you know, when it gets big enough, They start adding adjacent products once they've really massed out the market. Once they've garnered buy-in, they have all these eyeballs on them. They know and trust the quality. And so like, yes, of course I would come to you to add this and this and this on. But in the beginning, when you have that one item, like, man, juice it for all it's worth. And then let the customer come back and say what they want next.
That's so smart. And it makes me think of Spanx. A lot of things make me think of Spanx.
100%.
But because she started with just the Spanx, the one Spanx.
Yep.
That's what she sold to department stores.
Yes.
That's how she got her foot in the door. She had a product that was needed in the market that went to a department store. Then the brand followed.
Yes.
Nobody knew what Spanx were.
No.
They just knew that they saw it in the department store and they were like, I need this.
Yes.
But then the brand recognition followed.
Yes.
And then apparel, then more, you know what I mean? And now it's an entire conglomerate of products. It's a lifestyle brand now.
Yes.
But it did not start that way.
Correct. So I think there is the ability to still build brand and start with one item.
Yeah.
So, but the point of us saying, are you building a brand or a hero product from the beginning is how you start.
Yeah.
Right. That still is important. That beginning part is still important for how you're going to approach, how you're going to source, right? All of that is still valid. But my point is, once these women get to a certain scale, I have no doubt other products will come along, assortment will widen, brand recognition will be known, right? And it's only going to keep adding more and more value to their amazing hero idea that they have. But, thinking about the ancillaries going on top of it, like, is each one of those patented? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, right? So there's going to be, things to learn and navigate as they go. But the core of what they come up with, the problem, they're all solving a problem. The problem that they're solving, again, is just really, some are fun and kitschy. Some are super needed. Some is like an easy add-on, like why isn't this sold with this type of thing? I mean, we're creating a lot of people are like, what are these products?
I know.
What are these products? Well,
I was just thinking that
we can't say yet, but maybe a future episode we'll be able to share, spill the tea here. But again, I just think it's exciting. I think it's cool to think about all the ways that you can launch your product-based business. That could be from Etsy to your own e-commerce site to saying, you know what, this is ready for retail and we're just going to, again, go big or go home on it. And let's see where we get.
Right. And I think that if people really dug in, if they went to the shops they go to every day and they looked at some products there, not all of those products have their own individual, like, direct to consumer sales channel.
Totally.
You do just have to go get it in retail.
Yeah. Yep. So, and not that you also need a patented item to go to retail. No. Let's be fair. That we're just talking about these three that happened to come to us where they were planning to start e-commerce channels. And we're just saying, hey, maybe pump the brakes there. Like, there might be another way for you guys to build based on your product. So again, we're not trying to make these ultimatums one way or another. We're just trying to get you all to think about the different ways that you can approach. And I think the product is where it starts.
Right.
The problem you're solving, the eyeballs you're trying to all those things, right? That all of that will play into what the best launch pad for you is.
I mean, Chanel doesn't sell online.
No, I know. I
try.
It's very frustrating, actually. When you're,
Don't have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that that's such a few fun conversations we've had this week. And we just kept being like, no, they need to go bigger, bigger.
Yes.
And then we're like, this should be a podcast episode.
And now it is. So we're going to leave you with that. We're going to let you guys noodle and think, what could these product-based businesses be?
Or what could mine be?
I love that. Even more.
What could mine be? And if you have been noodling on an idea, if you have been thinking about something and you're not quite sure which step to take, our mini course is perfect for you.
Yep.
It takes people from like the concept in your mind to that moment before you find a factory, to what approximately would this cost? Who's my target audience? What do I need to sell this at? What's some like easy math around my product and getting everyone's, really the point is like, get it out of your brain, get it onto paper, get the mathing, get it to a point where you can send it to a factory and you're in a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. We've actually already had people opting in. It's been exciting to see. And I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's been live for one day.
Yeah, one day we already have some sales churning, which is, again, just so exciting. And it makes me, every time that we have a sale or someone opts into our course, I'm like, that's one more product that needs to be in this world.
Yes.
That is like taking a step forward. They're like investing in themselves, their idea, which again gives me goosebumps because we all have ideas every day, you know? And so if you just take that step and go through, especially this mini course, will help you vet it to say like, okay, this could be real. And if it's not, it'll probably bring you to another route, a different light bulb right ahead of, or give you more information. So when the next idea comes, you're better equipped to be like, oh, okay, these are the filters that I need.
Well, and you
know.
wouldn't have wasted like 10 grand on a product run and then be like, oh shit, it doesn't work.
Exactly. There's that too. You know, we're trying to save you money too. That's for sure.
All right. Well, we will put in a pin in it for today, and then we'll see you guys back here again next Wednesday, every Wednesday morning for the Sourcing Gals.
Yes. And be sure to please like, share, like we said the other week, leave a review. It's really important to us. It really helps us kind of rank up higher in regards to people that are looking for this type of podcast and information. So we really appreciate those that have left reviews. And the rest of you, please do. We're asking whether it's on Apple or Spotify, and DM us. We're also looking for some Q&As. What do you want to hear about on the next podcast? What are some, these could be very specific questions, or these can just be general topics that you're like, you know what, I really would love you guys to dive further on X, Y, or Z. We want to make sure this podcast is for you, to give you guys the value, you the education. So drop us a note. So until next week on
The Sourcing Gals.